lots of Chicagoans showed up to support the workers.
Workers have become a national symbol for thousands of employees laid off across the country.
The sit-in has grabbed the attention of politicians who believe it exemplifies an imbalance between a Wall Street that gets government help and a Main Street that gets the shaft.
The question started to be asked, was this the beginnings of a workers' revolt against Wall Street? Pledges of financial support and food showed up by the truckload.
It's really beyond what we had first initially imagined, and so now we're dreaming a little bit. You know, we even had a conversation, well, what if we just tried to run the factories like a cooperative?
We're all over the national news. Everyone is watching you because they're so inspired by you. Y yo también me siento muy orgullosa.
After 6 days of the sit-in, Bank of America decided enough was enough. Better to pay off these workers now and hope their little revolution goes away. And so the bank and the company agreed to all the workers' demands.
The average package for each worker will be very close to $6,000. But this is about more than just money. It's about what can be achieved when workers organize and stand up for justice.
Fight.
It's a fight we knew all too well in Flint, Michigan. For it was here that my uncle and his fellow workers first brought down the mighty corporate interests that dominated their lives. It was the day before New Year's Eve in 1936, and hundreds of men and women took over the GM factories in Flint and occupied them for 44 days. They were the first union that beat an industrial corporation, and their actions eventually resulted in the creation of a middle class. But back in these days of the Flint sit-down strike, the police and the company thugs were not going to just stand by. After a bloody battle one evening, the governor of Michigan, with the support of the President of the United States, Franklin Roosevelt, sent in the National Guard. But the guns of the soldiers weren't used on the workers. They were pointed at the police and the hired goons, warning them to leave these workers alone. For Mr. Roosevelt believed that the men inside had a right to a redress of their grievances.